Hey guys, it's Dan, host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for my weekly review for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5. This one's going to be for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 11, which is called You're Still Here. I believe that's the name of the episode, right? So, okay, so, I don't know. I don't know. I think You're Still Here is the name of this episode, but, okay, so this video is being filmed on, on Sunday morning. I've actually already seen the episode, last night. However, I did want to, of course, do my my review for Fear of the Walking Dead now, so you guys can see it right after the episode airs. Hopefully, I'll continue doing these, if you guys, because it sounds like a lot of people like seeing my reviews right after the episode. I'm only doing this because there's enough demand for it. I might do the same for Walking Dead. I don't know. I think Walking Dead reviews, right after the episode, I think that'd be pretty awesome. So I think I might do that as well for Walking Dead. But, for this week's episode of Fear the Walking Dead, so, this episode, I did say briefly in my video I posted earlier on today that this is not as good episode as episode 10, but now we're gonna get into some spoilers, so definitely get out of here if you haven't seen the episode yet. But okay, what does this episode have? So, this episode is basically focused on two different groups. It has Strand and Alicia, who find Wes, and then, of course, there is the storyline with Morgan and Althea, where they run into Logan. Now, out of the two, I have to say my favorite was Morgan and Althea. I really enjoyed what they did with them in this episode, because they didn't have actually as much time as Strand and Alicia, but the stuff they did have was really, really cool, and I really like this the episode a lot for them, because, and I want to go over what happens with them first. So, you have Morgan and Althea who are kind of looking for, he's trying to help Althea basically, and they find out that Alicia and the others are in trouble, so they kind of try to go and save them. But of course, there's the roadblock, and then we get to see basically how, over time, Logan has been getting more and more pissed off at Morgan's group because, he wants to know where the oil fields are. So, Morgan's like, why does it matter? And I really like the roadblock scene, how they're just chilling there, and Logan doesn't even have, like, 10 guys. Like, he doesn't even have 10 people. He has, like, probably, what, 7 or 8 fighters? Like, he really doesn't have that much. So it's, the Fear of the Walking Dead group, if they went up against Logan, Morgan and the others would win. I think even Morgan and, Alicia could probably take out all of Logan's group, Logan, you could say, has a few tough people. They look tough, Logan's people. But at the same time, it's like Logan's group, they don't really have a chance against Morgan and the others. I don't think so. Especially people like John on Morgan's side, that could, kill 2 of Logan's guys just like that, Logan could, Morgan could clear, the rest of them, and, maybe Alicia could kill one of them. It's really simple. So, Logan and the others are not much of a threat. I know Fear of the Walking Dead has not had the best villains. Let's just be honest. In the last little while, they haven't had the best villains. The only good villain that I think Fear has had, is Taka. I would have said that, the Vultures were, really crazy villains, because, the Vultures were also villains that I thought, made a pretty big impact, since they really, pretty much killed Madison and Nick. But, at the same time, it's like, Mel, he wasn't that big of a villain, and now with Logan, it's like, I find he's kind of, the villains, ever since the new showrunner's taken over, the villains are just not as good. But either way, so I want to get to, without a doubt, my favorite part of the episode, where Logan talks about Morgan's family, and I love that scene. I think that scene is just absolutely amazing, really well done. And he talks about his family, and Morgan just loses it and goes into clear mode for at least a good 5-10 seconds. And Althea has to kind of stop Morgan before Morgan gets both of them killed, but basically, Logan is kind of at that point, he's like, I love what he said. He said, if you don't want anybody to know about your business, why do you put it on TV? And Morgan's just like, he kind of snaps out of it, But, Morgan kind of lets Logan know. He kind of looks at Logan and he's like, I want to kill you. If, I'm gonna kill you if you don't get out of our way. So, yeah, really, really cool stuff for sure. So, I love that. I love everything at the roadblock scene. Clear Morgan kind of returns there for a little while, but I loved it. I thought it was awesome. So, moving on to the stuff with Alicia and Strand. So, they basically get to, you know, they, you know, at first you see the tree and stuff. I love the part where the walker comes out at the beginning and you have the arm that falls off and body parts just falling off, and then he kind of comes out at Alicia. And then, of course, Alicia is kind of scared to kill walkers. Now, this I felt really bad for as well, because it's like Alicia, she, you know, ever since episode, well, like episode 6, 7 or so, once she actually tried to save the kids, who we haven't seen the kids all second half, so freaking awesome, to be honest. But, we haven't seen the kids at all. But, of course, she almost died for those kids. Those stupid kids. So, we get to see in this episode that she kind of doesn't want to, you know, kill walkers anymore. She's afraid, so Strand has to kind of help her. And, of course, then they meet, Wes. So, I really like when he kind of, they help him with his bike and stuff, and he's just like, I want to be part of your little movies. So, you know, I like how he's kind of, you know, because it's so far and so many years into the apocalypse that even though, you know, I mean, it's not, you know, like, you know, 11 or 12 years like The Walking Dead is into the apocalypse, but it's still like, I'd say at least, what, 3 or 4 years in the apocalypse, in Fear the Walking Dead, that, you know, Wes, he doesn't trust them, you know, at first. He's just like, you know, he's like, honestly, like, he's just like, can I trust you guys, you know, was the movie, was it real, you know, that type of thing, because then again, you can understand it too, because, I mean, you know, so many, you know, groups have, you know, screwed people over in the Walking Dead universe. I'm talking Terminus, you know, yeah, Terminus. That's a good you know, good example right there. Terminus, you know, make it seem like everything's good. You know, they have you know like you know, recording, sanctuary for all, community for all, and then when you get there, you know, it's like you're screwed. You know, so I mean, Rick and the others barely got out of there if it wasn't for Carol. They wouldn't have gotten out of there if it wasn't for Carol. So same thing with this guy. He wants to make sure that Alicia and Strand are good people. So I do like Wes. A lot of people, you know, think it's you know, Heath's brother and how his brother is Heath. I'm just like, no, he probably not, but that would be pretty crazy if his brother was Heath. Now, I want to also discuss the big kind of disappointment of the episode, but the trees throughout this whole episode was like a mystery, and people always thought it was Madison, and we find out at the end of it that it actually wasn't. It was his brother, wasn't it? Was it Wes or his brother? I believe, yeah, something like that. Yeah, it was Wes that was painting those trees. So, I'm kind of disappointed in that, because you know, I really hope that Madison was the one painting those trees. So that was one of the big disappointments of this episode for me, and that really just took the excitement right out for me at that point. But I have to also, you know, remember that, you know, they did confirm Madison was dead, but that's the thing. You know, Alicia painted the tree at the end too, and she, you know, put no one's gone till they're gone. So I don't know. I still don't feel like Madison is dead. We didn't see her die, and I feel like there's still, even though it wasn't her that painted those trees, we know it's not her now. They are still kind of, you know, trying to, you know, let us know that, hey, Madison's probably not dead, you know, and they're really doing a lot of tie-ins with Madison's character. So, I don't know, you know, do you guys think Madison's still out there alive, or do you think that maybe that's just it, and now that she wasn't the one painting those trees, after all, that, you know, it's kind of, that's it, you know, we're not going to see Madison again. It's more possible now that we won't see Madison, and that's what I was kind of saying in my videos, is that it would be cool to see Madison, and I think it was possible. I did think it was possible, but, you know, you know, it was also very, you know, how can I put it? Madison returning just wouldn't make sense, you know, at this point. However, I thought they would have done it. I did think for a little while they might have actually, you know, thought about doing that. But I don't know. I still don't think the Madison's alive theory is out the window, but it's definitely less possible now, for sure. That's really all I have to say about that. So, you know, to continue on, so we have the guy who gets shot by Wes. They are stuck in the building. We get Wes, who's firing off the handguns, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Just one, shooting the walkers, okay, this one's empty. You know, shooting the walkers, okay, this one's empty. I'm just like, how many guns do you have in that bag? Like, you know, I don't know. That part, you know, is just hilarious to me. But, we saw that, and then, of course, they kind of escape. We have Strand, who hurts his eyes with the whole tear gas thing, which I was like, why is it just standing there, though? That's the one thing I didn't understand, but, I mean, there were walkers in the way, I guess. So, there was that, and then, of course, we also get to see at the end of it, Wes find one guy who he pretends to be a walker, and then when he turns around, he tackles Wes. And of course, this like book that Wes had or whatever, he wanted back, and he kind of let him keep it because he died for it, he said. So, and Alicia's like, you just killed him over, you know, a book. Like, seriously? But of course, we find out that it was his brother and all this kind of stuff. So, I don't know. It was okay. It was okay, that stuff. But, in terms of this episode, you know, we get to see at the end how Morgan, you know, and Al, you know, they return, and, you know, see Alicia and Strand. They all reunite. And then, of course, at the end of it, Alicia kind of paints the trees, but then no one's gone until they're gone. And we kind of get a bit of a cliffhanger, not much of one, but we see Althea's tapes, and of course Logan and the others kind of come in, and they see Morgan on one of the tapes, and Logan looks like he maybe wants to, you know, to listen to the tape. So I don't know. That's pretty cool. So, and I did see Salazar in the tapes there, too, at the end, when Logan and the others were kind of coming in. So, I don't know. It was a pretty good episode of Fear the Walking Dead. Not as good as the Mall episode last week with, you know, awesome stuff with Dwight and awesome stuff with Morgan and Grace. I really enjoyed last week's episode of Fear. You know, this week's episode, less exciting, I would say. I did love the clear Morgan scene, though, with Logan. That was my favorite part. And my favorite character of this episode would definitely, without a doubt, be Alicia. Because I really like how she's scared of killing walkers at the beginning, and how at the end, she's kind of, you know, coming back a little bit. So, but of course, if you're new here, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Fear the Walking Dead weekly reviews. I'll be back with my predictions video. Actually, my predictions video could even already be up by this time. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. What do you think about this episode of Fear the Walking Dead? Write in the comments below. What was your favorite part of this episode? Who was your favorite character of this episode, and why? So anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.